Exodus 3. Now Moses was shepherding the flock of his father-in-law Jethro, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the far side of the desert and came to the mountain of God, to Horeb. The angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire from within a bush. He looked, and the bush was ablaze with fire, but it was not consumed. So Moses thought, I will turn aside and see this amazing sight. Why does the bush not burn up? When the Lord saw that he had turned aside to look, God called to him from within the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And Moses said, Here I am. God said, Do not approach any closer. Take your sandals off your feet, for the place where you are standing is holy ground. He added, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Then Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look at God. The Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people who are in Egypt. I have heard their cry because of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. I have come down to deliver them from the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up from the land that is both good and spacious, to a land flowing with milk and honey, to the region of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites. And now indeed the cry of the Israelites has come to me, and I have also seen how severely the Egyptians oppress them. So now go, and I will send you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. Moses said to God, Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh? Or what? Or that I should bring the Israelites out of Egypt? He replied, Surely I will be with you, and this will be a sign to you that I have sent you. When you bring the people out of Egypt, you and they will serve God at this mountain. Moses said to God, If I go to the Israelites and tell them, the God of your fathers has sent me to you, and they ask me, What is his name? What shall I say to them? God said to Moses, Am that I am. And he said, You must say this to Israel, I am has sent me to you. God also said to Moses, You must say this to the Israelites, the Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob has sent me to you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial from generations to generations. Go and bring together the elders of Israel and tell them, The Lord, the God of your fathers, appeared to me, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, saying, I have attended carefully to you and to what has been done to you in Egypt. And I have promised that I will bring you up out of the affliction of Egypt to the land of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites, to a land flowing with milk and honey. The elders will listen to you, and then you and the elders of Israel must go to the king of Egypt and tell him, The Lord, the God of the Hebrews, has met with us. So now let us go 3 days' journey into the wilderness, so that we may sacrifice to the Lord our God. But I know the king of Egypt will not let you go, not even under force. So I will extend my hand and strike Egypt with all my wonders that I will do among them, and after that he will release you. I will grant this people favor with the Egyptians, so that when you depart, you will not leave empty-handed. Every woman will ask her neighbor and the one who happens to be staying in her house for items of silver and gold and for clothing. You will put these articles on your sons and daughters. Thus you will plunder Egypt. So we're progressing now, and Moses is now working. He's shepherding his father-in-law. We've jumped ahead forward. We don't even know. He's been with his father-in-law. He's married. Does he have kids? Do we have any? We have no info at this point. We're just jumping the story ahead. So like the story of Exodus is a boom, here's a thing set up, boom, jump ahead, boom, jump ahead. Southside TV Love, thank you for Ad supporting, appreciate that, friend. So now he's called Jethro. So I think the other is a moniker. He is a friend of God. That is this is a description of his character. This is his actual name. So I don't know what the ad was. I don't get to see the ads. There should have been ads running. It told me there was. So anyway, he is tending the flock. So now Moses has taken on the role that his wife had been doing. No doubt at some level, she is probably with the kids, so he's out with the flock. But it doesn't talk about any of the sisters who were there. We don't know anything more about them. They're not in the story really again. But he is in the desert. He goes to the far side to a mountain, to the mountain of God, to Horeb. Horeb is another name for Mount Sinai. There is a good deal of foreshadowing in this verse. The later Moses would shepherd the people of Israel and lead them to Mount Sinai to receive the law. Okay, some major themes. Yes. The angel of the Lord appeared to him. So he sees the angel of the Lord. The angel of the Lord shows up in a flame fire from within a bush. So it is a messenger of the Lord, the angel of the Lord. There's a lot of speculation on what this is, who this is. I am not a good scholar on all the levels of seeing the angel of the Lord theme throughout the Old Testament. One of the things that I'm not inclined to do is see this as Jesus, which some people want to see anytime the angel of the Lord shows up that it's Jesus. I think that's not the correct way to read it, but I'm not going to argue with you if you see it that way. I'm just going to say, I think it causes some other issues to jump in that direction. We're not supposed to do that. So it is the presence of God in the bush. His messenger is there. The bush is on fire. It is flame. Flame is one of those representations of God's presence, often associated with the Holy Spirit in the New Testament, but in the Old Testament, the presence of God shows up in fire at various different times, and going after they leave Egypt, the pillar of fire is going to be one of those. So here we have it, but it is not consumed. It does not burn up. I mean, would this not be amazing to see something on fire that does not get burned up? I'm picking something simple that would be like you would maybe understand is a cardboard box that's on fire but isn't burning. Like it's not consumed. Like I would be really amazed. Or a piece of paper. Like a piece of paper that is burning but doesn't burn up. It'd be like, because you know what happens when paper burns or cardboard. Like it's going to consume and disintegrate very quickly into ash. Nothing is happening to this bush. He's watching it and it's not happening. It's not consumed. So Moses turns aside. So he's on a path. He's doing one thing. Turning aside is to spend the time to go and do this amazing sight. Why does the bush not burn up? When the Lord sees that he does this, God calls to him from the middle of the bush. Now, it was the angel of the Lord. Now it says God calls to him from the middle of the bush. It could still be the angel of the Lord doing it, but it is God calling because the angel speaks on behalf of God. So we can still have different aspects of all of that. They have the interplay of them going back and forth with Abraham and now here with Moses. It happens a few times of it being an angel, it being the Lord, and it being a man in all the same motif. Here we don't have man, but you get what I'm saying. So don't get hung up on that. That's my point. So calls to him Moses and he says, "Here I am." Isn't that an interesting play? Here I am. Do not approach any closer. Take your sandals off, for the place where you are standing is holy ground. It is sacred. It is set apart. It is Kodesh, set apart, distinct, unique. Why does he need to take his sandals off? Because you have to be barefoot on this? No. Because his sandals are going to contain the dust of other gods' realms, where they have control and power. Maybe his sandals are, Egyptian-style sandals. Maybe there's something else. But dwelling and walking in the dust in other locations, he has the dust of the realm of the other gods, and you're not going to contaminate the space where God is, because it's set apart and holy. It's one of these things, like we don't fully grasp the set apart as holy. It is different, it is distinct, it is unique. And so in order to not bring something not unique into it, sing something profane into it, here is the removal of that. We don't have any cleansing rituals here. We just have the removal of something that is going to bring contaminant in, and so you can't come in. And then he says, "I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob." Then Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look at God. So he was curious about the fire. Now that he knows who it is, he's afraid to look. He was afraid to gaze, to look upon. So I find this interesting. Moses grows up in Pharaoh's household. I mean, he did have his mother for some time until he's weaned. Weaning could have been until he was like 3 to 5 years old. I don't know if it'd be much later than 5 years old. I mean, it could be, but he's going to then grow up in Pharaoh's household. He's going to know some of the things. And yeah, he could have remembered his mother or his father teaching him about our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and God being our God. I mean, he could have been taught all of that stuff. But he probably hasn't been a participant because he grew up in Pharaoh's household. So maybe he knows some of this in addition because of the priest of Midian, his father-in-law Jethro. So maybe Jethro is the one who talks about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and tells them stories of his people that he doesn't know. So we have a whole concept. There are a couple of different ways he could have learned all of this stuff, but we just have God stating it as fact and the assumption that Moses is going to know who he's talking about. I have seen the affliction of my people in Egypt. I have heard their cry. Now, the cry is not a prayer. The cry is a cry of the oppressed because of taskmasters, because of sorrow. And I have come to deliver them from the hand of the Egyptians and to bring them from the land to the land that is both good and spacious, flowing with milk and honey. So good and spacious. It's not cramped. It's not going to be overwhelming. It's going to have milk and honey, which is the descriptor for being a place that is going to have milk, which means your animals and livestock are going to have an abundance, and honey, meaning the plants are going to be in abundance. So it is a way of describing the thing or the way of the land as being a bountiful place. And then we have the list of the peoples who are there: the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. So 6 of them in all who are there. Each group of people is joined to the preceding with the Vav construct to repeat the conjunction. So they're just telling you and is the Hebrew construct, but that is poor English, so they left all of the ands out. And now indeed the cry of the Israelites has come to me, and I have seen how severely the Egyptians oppress them. So now go, I will send you to Pharaoh and bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. So I've seen them, I'm sending you, you go to Pharaoh. Moses said to God, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh, or that I should bring the Israelites out of Egypt? Now, why is he saying this? Remember what got told to him when he tried to intervene in the lives of the Hebrews. Are you going to kill me like you killed the Egyptian? Like there was no reverence, no respect, no appreciation for Moses in any way. He does not believe that his people are going to believe him. They look at him as an outsider. He grew up in Pharaoh's household. He is not welcome. He is not wanted. So, why would he want to go and think he could do this? So, God says, I will be with you, and this will be a sign to you that I have sent you. So, the sign that I have sent you. So, Moses, you want to know that I've sent you? When you bring the people out of Egypt, you and they will serve me on this mountain. This just does not seem like a great comfort. So there's proof that I have picked the right person and I am the one who is sending you. It's going to happen because you're going to worship me on this very spot. You're going to bring everybody here to this place and you're going to worship me here. It doesn't feel real comforting. The sign that I sent you happens after you accomplish everything I'm sending you to do. But in some ways, the older I get, the more compelling that thought is. Yeah, I want to know the success of it. That's my assurance that God is the one who is in it, is because it's going to happen. It's going to turn out just the way it needs to. So that is good enough. That is good enough. Moses said to God, if I go to the Israelites and tell them the God of your fathers has sent me, they ask me, what is his name? What should I say to them? Now, why does Moses come up with this question? What is his name? There has been considerable debate about the name Yod-He, Vav-He in the Pentateuch, primarily because the theories that have maintained the name Yod-He, Vav-He, Yahweh, was not known in antiquity. The argument of the whole section nullifies that view. The idea that God's name was revealed only here raises the question of what he was called earlier. The word God is not a name. El Shaddai is used only a few times in Genesis. But Israel would not have had a nameless deity, specifically since Genesis says that from the very beginning, God people were making proclamation of the name of Yahweh. It is possible that they did not always need a name if they were convinced that only he existed and there was no other God. But probably what Moses was anticipating was the Israelites wanting to be sure that Moses came with the message from their God and that some sign could prove it. They would have known his name, Yahweh, and they would have known the ways that he would have manifested himself. It would no doubt do no good for Moses to come with a new name for God, for that would be like introducing them to a new God. That would in no way authenticate. Yeah, this was like what's the name of our God? Well, it's this. We've never heard that name. Well, I know he didn't tell anybody his name before, and he only told me. Well, how would you believe that? So it does make a whole lot of sense that there would be some need to have them already know the name so he could validate the name. And if they already have a reverence for not speaking the name and referring to him other ways, this would make some sense there. Anyway. Hey, Jones, welcome in. So he's going to go tell them that I am. That I am. And you must say this to the Israelites, I am has sent me. The verb form of here, ayin, the call imperfect, first person, common singular of the verb to be, it forms an excellent paronomasia with the name. So when God used the verb to express his name, he used the form saying, I am, when his people refer to him as Yahweh, which is the third person masculine singular form of the same verb, they say he is. Some commentators argue for a future tense translation, I will be who I will be, because the verb has an active quality about it, and the Israelites lived in light of the promise of the future. They argue that the I am would be of little help to Israel in bondage, but a translation of I will be does not effectively do much more except restrict it to the future. The idea of the verb would certainly indicate that God is not bound by time. While he is present, I am, he will always be present even in the future, and so I am would embrace that as well. Okay, we don't need to keep going down this footnote here, but you get what's going on there, I hope. You're like, I don't know these stories like you thought you did. Yeah, because often we read them by really fast and we don't spend time digging into them. So Moses is like, how will I prove to them that you sent me? And he is thinking in some way that there is a piece of God being revealed that is going to tell them. And so God is saying, I am is my name, and this will be the way that people will know I sent you. Hey, Mother Goose, good to see you, friend. God also said, you must say to the Israelites. So not only am I going to give you this, I'm going to give you more. I'm going to give you more. The Lord, the God of our fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, sent me to tell you, this is my name forever, and this is my memorial from generation to generation. Go and bring together the elders and the Israelites, and tell them, the Lord, the God of your fathers, appeared to me, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, saying, I have attended carefully to you, and to what has been done to you in Egypt. And I have promised that I will bring you out of your affliction of Egypt into the land of Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites, to the land flowing with milk and honey. So, BT Dubs, don't forget to mention, I'm not just here's the name, I'm bringing you out of, I've heard your cries, we're going to go into the land, it's going to be great, it's going to be fantastic, I'm going to deliver you. The elders will listen to you, and then you and the elders will go to the king of Egypt and tell him. Now, don't rush past this. The elders will listen to you, and then you and the elders will go to the king of Egypt and tell them. The plan here for Moses is to go to the elders, and he with the elders go to Pharaoh. Did you catch that? Moses and the elders are supposed to go to Pharaoh with the plan of what they are looking for. You and the elders. So, the people are supposed to be turned and then go to Pharaoh. Who? The elders, not just Moses alone. The elders. So there's going to be someone from each tribe. and tell them, the God of the Hebrews has met with us. So now let us go 3 days journey into the wilderness to sacrifice. And so we're going 3 days journey. We're going away from Egypt, from the land where the Egyptian gods have power. We're going out into a desolate place. We're going away. Now, even under force, so I would extend my hand and strike. Oh, so then he's, sorry. But the king of Egypt will not let you go. So Moses tells him up front, it's not going to happen. He won't do it. So I'm going to extend my hand, and I'm going to strike Egypt with all my wonders that I will do among them. And after that, he will release you. So I'm going to bring affliction against him because he won't let you go. He's not going to do it. I'm going to bring affliction. And then I will grant favor with the Egyptians of your people. And that when you depart, you will not leave empty-handed. Now, remember this as we go forward. Okay? Remember this as we go forward. You're going to have favor with the people. After plague 1, 2, or 3, do they become detestable to the Egyptians? The favor is not won in having 1, 2, 3, or 4 plagues. The favor is won when there is no end to the power of God. The favor is won when you get past the I'm resentful of you to, oh my goodness, your God is amazing. So that's when the favor is going to come. And every woman will ask her neighbor, and the one who happens to be staying in her house, for silver and gold, and for clothing. Notice clothing as well. And they will put the articles on their sons and their daughters, and thus you will plunder Egypt. So, all of the stuff that Egypt has been stealing and swiping from you after all of your slave labor, they're going to pay your wages as you exit. You are going to get your severance pay. I mean, think about it that way. You are being let go from Egypt, and you're going to get all of your back pay. You're going to get all of the wages that were not there. You're going to get severance. You're going to get all of this stuff. It's going to go with you. You're going to have wealth that has been accumulated by Egypt in your absence, and you're going to have it. So, let me just see how long chapter 4 is. We're supposed to get through 4. Yeah, it's a little bit longer. Okay, so yeah, it's like 31 verses. Okay, we're just going to end up short today, getting started. That's okay. We will end it there. So let's do prayer.